Thornton was bumped as he took the shot. I thought the JMU got away with the foul not being called, but credit Thornton the body control and able to finish with the hit.
Marcus Thornton with 14 points. As we've passed the, getting close to passing the 6-minute mark. And this game has been as tight as could be. Charles Cook trying to answer back and into the hands of Fred Heldring. Rustoven on the bench, getting a breather. Gaylord, got it! Kyle Gaylord has totaled only 9 points in his last 3 games, just 2 in the last 2, after having double figures in 7 of his previous 9. But he is shooting 37% from three-point range this year. Cook will get to the line. Kyle Gaylord, Ron Thompson, has been quiet all night long, but a pretty good time to break out.
Well, he caught it on the wing, turned and saw how far Rashawn Goins was off of him, said, look here, I got to take this. And then here on the other end, Cook sees a wide open lane, attacks it, and draws the bump.
In and out on the free throw attempt by Charles Cook. That foul is on Fred Heldring, and that's going to be his second. He misses. Charles Cook couldn't get either of those 2 free throws to drop. So William and Mary stays on top by 4 as they have mustered up another one of the runs that we've seen this evening. Britt calling for it and buries another 3.
William and Mary's doing an excellent job out at spacing the floor offensively, and they're moving the ball quickly, forcing JMU to try and chase him.
Brandon Britt putting a capper on a now 10-0 William and Mary run as he has got 15 points. And suddenly William and Mary looking like that team that has averaged 10 three-pointers over their last 8 games.
So far for William and Mary, it's been that three-headed monster of Tim Rustoven, Marcus Thornton, and as well as Brandon Britt. And these guys have just been carrying the load for them all night long. And that time, excellent ball movement, I thought, by William and Mary. And JMU has to stop staring at the ball. They have all 5 guys looking in one direction. And when they start to look in one direction, the William and Mary offensive guys, they start to move. And they're getting wide open shots all night long.
Well, to your point, we saw on those great replays we just gave you that Brandon Britt simply ran to a spot. And you know Matt Brady, coming into this game, right, knowing William and Mary's proclivity for shooting three-pointers, has told his guys as point A, B, and C, stop the three-pointers, and nobody followed Brandon Britt to where he wanted to go.
Now it's a defensive lapse, and that's what JMU has had too many times here at the start of the second half, is mentally they haven't locked in. They're putting good pressure on the ball for the most part, but once the ball is secure, the other 4 guys, especially on a ball club like William and Mary, where the 4 guys without the ball are in constant motion, defensively, you can't stare in one direction. You have to look and point and find out where the men are.
Well, Britt has been averaging nearly 16 points a game over his last 7. We told you in the first half that he had passed the 1,000-point mark of his William and Mary career. So he continues to add to that. And this junior from Chesapeake, Virginia, has certainly provided a great additional weapon to Marcus Thornton in the backcourt. And when you've got Tim Rustoven, the CAA's leading field goal percentage performer, it is a very intriguing combination that Tony Shaver has to work with. The Tribe and Tony Shaver coming alive from behind the arc, 3 of 4 in this second half from three-point range after a 3 of 10 performance in the first half. And there's what we've seen as the answer comes from Ron Curry. And there Matt Brady gets something accomplished out of that timeout.
You love to see that as a coach. Out of a timeout, you see your guys execute and you nail the shot.
Matt Brady back with his small lineup as Goins is out. Rustoven back in for Tony Shaver. Watched by Devon Moore. There's 3 to shoot. And Britt is hammered on the way up by A.J. Davis.
Again, excellent patience by William and Mary. They let the shot clock wind down, but when the clock went down, they didn't panic. They stayed within their offense and got a layup. Take a look. Britt drives to the basket, draws contact. He, as well as Marcus Thornton, do an excellent job at when they drive, they make sure they come up with something, and that's key.
Marcus Thornton is about to check back in, so Tony Shaver was able to give Marcus a great rest long before that last timeout and even a couple possessions after the timeout. So this should be down the stretch for Marcus Thornton.
And that's key, and credit Tony Shaver's assistants, because they found a pocket of the game where they could rest Marcus Thornton, get him some key minutes. Once, he felt good, he let the head coach know, look, Marcus is ready to go. Tony Shaver says, you know what, I think I can buy 2 more minutes. And he got away with extending his time on the bench, and now, like you said, he's going to probably be in for the remainder of the game.
So Britt is up to 17 points, matching A.J. Davis. Or excuse me, matching this man, Devon Moore. That's a great feed. Moore finding Elian Diouf. So when JMU needs to get something accomplished, put it in the hands of number 40. Now Diouf matched up with Rustoven and knocks that shot away. Davis charging up the court, and he pushed the man out of the way. Are they going to call it against Britt or Davis? It's going to be against Britt.
You saw A.J. Davis's eyes just light up when he got that ball and saw that there was no one in front of him. He just changed gears and was able to draw the foul.
And they're going to say it is a shooting foul, so A.J. Davis will have free throws when we come back. Marcus Thornton, some circus work. Kyle Gaylord has been on mark. And Brandon Britt with 17. It's William and Mary in the lead. It has been the battle we expected between these two longtime rivals. In the 85th meeting between James Madison and William and Mary, we have got a 4-point basketball game with 11:56 to go in the second half. Al Koken, Ron Thompson, Brent Harris with you in Richmond, Virginia. A 17-point performance by that man, Devon Moore. But what's most impressed me, Ron Thompson, is what you see in terms of his overall basketball acumen, the way he distributes the basketball. He's got 6 points. He's JMU's all-time assist leader at 479 now, and you just ask for Devon Moore to do what he wants, and he'll get it done for you.
Well, his DNA is all over this game, Al. You know, he's scored the ball, he's distributed the ball, he's gotten a few rebounds, he's entered JMU into their offense, and every time you see JMU start to wilt a little bit, he gives them their life and brings them back to form. So he's done an excellent job, and I think coming down the stretch, I think he's got to get his ball club to hone in defensively. And a lot of teams say that we got to play D, we got to play D. But JMU has to look around and see where the bodies are, and not just all 5 guys stare at the ball.
Well, it's been JMU's defense, as I mentioned, that's turned this season around. They allow just 60.8 points a game in league games, which has been the best in the CAA. But they're going against an offensive juggernaut in William and Mary, the way Britt, Thornton, and Rustoven have performed so far this evening.
Britt, Thornton, and Rustoven sounds like a law firm, Al. and they've been as efficient as a good law firm tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to hire these guys the way they have performed. However, they turn it over here with 11:31 to go. Remember, Andre Nation is the one player in deep foul trouble. He's got 4 sitting on Matt Brady's bench. Right now, the foul situation, 5 team fouls on William and Mary, 4 on JMU.
Now, what can't be understated is this time of year. Regardless of what your record is, regardless of how poorly you may have done during the regular season, come tournament time, your record is 0-0. You're starting all over again.
And Tim Embersol underneath has spotted another foul as a push again underneath by William and Mary. And that's going to be against Tim Rustoven, his 3rd. So Tony Shaver now is going to have to keep an eye and maybe pull his big man. They're going to bring Tarpey out and bring Gaylord back. So Rustoven stays with his 3 personals.
William & Mary switched to their matchup zone. They're guarding areas, following cutters through just to try to throw JMU off a little bit. You see they're bumping the ball off as they go, and right now JMU looks a little confused. They don't know if they should run their man offense or their zone offense.
Something Tony Shaver told our Brent Harris when we talked with him at the half, that they may do a little more zone look in this second half. And right there they get an offensive foul called against A.J. Davis.
Now look for them the very next possession to come back and get back in that matchup zone. Take a look here. You're going to see the push off. Nice one-on-one move. He crosses over, tries to get there, but you see the push right there. Credit Brandon Britt also for selling it just a bit.
So A.J. Davis has picked up his 3rd personal after an explosive first half. That big-time score has been quiet here for JMU as they're down 3. Plenty of time for him to explode, however. Davis almost got another call against him as he pushed Matt Rum. But the hands of Davis helped knock that away, and it's going to go out of bounds. 21 seconds to work for William and Mary.
And right now, the second half of the shot clock is where JMU has to do a better job. They have to lock in and focus mentally.
We're going to get a timeout by Tony Shaver as the Duke pressure forced him to get that timeout and settle this inbounds play.
Not a bad timeout that time, I thought, by William & Mary. Sometimes, you know, coaches don't want you to blow a timeout early, but we're getting to the second half of the second half, and you want to be efficient. You don't want to have empty possessions.
And it's a good time to remind everybody that if you'd like to catch the action of the 2013 CAA Women's Basketball Championship, also presented by Janny King, it'll take place next week, March 14th through the 17th, at the Showplace Arena in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Log on to CAAsports.com for more details. I'm looking very forward to being there. Comcast Sportsnet will have the semifinals for you on Saturday and the finals for you on Sunday. And my terrific partner, Jody Lavin-Patrick, will be alongside. Can't wait to work again with her. And it's going to be another interesting tournament with nationally ranked Delaware in the crosshairs of teams like Drexel, Northeastern, and James Madison. Thornton with 3 to shoot, finds Rustoven, and there's Tim Rustoven on a great pass from Marcus Thornton.
There's been about 5 possessions where the shot clock has gotten under 5, and William & Mary doesn't panic. They don't panic. They stay within the course of what they're trying to do, and they seem to get a shot each and every time.
As Diouf goes in traffic, batted up in the air by Cook. Ron, how many times do you see when the shot clock's down to 2, the best you can get is about a 40-footer?
Exactly.
This is a layup for Tim Rusthoven, which is the offense you want.
And that's something you have to work on. That's not an accident. You, as a coach, you say stay within your offense. We're not going to break the play off and run a high ball screen. We'll get a shot late, and your team just has to have that patience.
And the third personal foul on Devon Moore has just been flagged, as he's called for blocking and pleads his case to official Sean Cassidy. The attack by Marcus Thornton will get him to the line for free throws. And you love a guy like Marcus Thornton and the work ethic. We see the talent, but when I've done William & Mary games, and we did it again last Saturday, and our crew did a great job of capturing it, it was a 6 o'clock tip-off. We're standing there talking with producer Kevin Santos and director John Niehaus, and who comes out on the basketball floor without anybody else out there 2 hours before the game to fire up shots but Marcus Thornton.
Well, it's no wonder he's had the success that he's had at such an early stage in his career. He's only a sophomore, and and that work ethic, it goes through to the summers also. He's out of the D.C. area. You see him in all the gyms. You see him in all the summer leagues, and he's putting in the work. And you love to see a guy get rewarded for his hard work that he puts in.
So we've crossed the halfway mark of this second half. Both teams with 6 team fouls. Andre Nation with his 4 personals in, and there's Rayshawn Goins, who's also come in and gets a shot and another one.
Rayshawn Goins that time was in the right place at the right time and just got that ball off the glass and exploded through the contact and was able to finish. You see here, Nation rises up, and Goins just happened to be at the right place at the right time, but takes the contact and finishes anyway.
Ron, I'll say it again, that man at the foul line could be the difference in this ball game. If he could get back to being the player he was for, well into 7/8 of this season. Britt, and now it's blocked on the way up. Nation gambling there with his 4 personals, but a big block. A.J. Davis hard off the glass. Got his miss, works inside and scores.
Great time that time, great effort that time by Davis and staying with the play, not giving up on it.
18 points for A.J. Davis, and Ron Curry a little too aggressive on the defensive end.
Take a look at A.J. Davis here. He takes the shot, doesn't give up on it, fouls it. Usually the shooter knows more than anyone where the ball's going to come off, and he fouls it and gets the putback.
I love that extra little move that A.J. Davis put in once he got Gaylord on the hip. Didn't just take him straight up, turned him, and got a much better look.
Scorers know how to put that ball in the basket now. Doesn't matter how it comes. It could be a jump shot. It could be a layup. You just want the 2 points.
And Brandon Britt with a rare miss on the front end of the 1-and-1. As the 7th team foul was flagged to JMU. Giving a bonus situation to William & Mary. They normally make you pay for those, but not there. Brent Harris has got more out of the timeout. Brent?
A.J. Davis now with a game-high 18 points. Tony Shaver said this week, boy, Davis must love seeing those green uniforms of the Tribe. We got to know where he is at all times on the court. He's starting to come alive here again in the second half. He's been fantastic against James Madison this year. Against William & Mary this year, 63 points in their 2 wins.
Shooting 61.5% from behind the arc, and there creates a steal. The kick out. Goins attacking on the offensive boards and scores.
Goins is making this push right here in the second half out. And it's just been subtle. It's been little things. It's been offensive rebounds, and they've needed someone else to come along on the interior.
Can he be the difference maker to get James Madison University into the semifinals, where they will meet the Blue Hens of Delaware? Gaylord kicks it in, and Davis anticipated and then throws it off Rusthoven to keep the basketball for JMU. So A.J. Davis with a great defensive play He's gotten some help, though, off the JMU bench as Rayshawn Goins has started to come alive. It's a great game, tied at 56. We'll be right back. Loving the excitement here in Richmond, Virginia, the end of our triple header, but we've still got a lot left. 56 all between William and Mary and JMU, 7:42 to go. The Dukes are on a 7-0 run, and A.J. Davis, who ended the regular season as the co-player of the week in the CAA, has continued his unbelievable play down the stretch.
When you look at it, Al, he's 7 for 11. So he's been efficient today. It's not like he's a guy out there that's just jacking up shots. He's been more than efficient tonight. And I like the fact that JMU, they're riding his wave. They're finding him in transition. They're finding him in the half-court sets.
And they're getting a lot of help from redshirt senior Rayshawn Goins, who's got the basketball here. He's starting to feel it. Couldn't get that to drop. Battles to keep it alive, and they do. More for three. Again, another chance as Andre Nation battles. And we're waiting for the official call. Actually, they're going to get a foul here against William and Mary. It's going to be against Kyle Gaylord, number 23. And Gaylord picks up his 4th personal foul.
Good effort, good energy both ways. You see guys diving, flying all over the place, and you can tell that it's tournament time. Both teams know it. Both teams know that it's win or go home, and neither team wants to be home this time tomorrow. They want to shoot up and live to play another day.
Look at Goins there, offensive glass again, and here he comes back to the free throw line.
See, that's the thing. Goins has been struggling in the month of February and early March, but he was their leading scorer a majority of the season. He was their go-to guy, so you know he has it in his tank. And right here, you see he's fighting on the offensive boards. Rustover relaxed a little bit, and Goins just took advantage of it.
He's been a double-figure scorer 21 times this season, which is why those numbers of 6, 6, and 2 in his last 3 games were so odd. But he's gotten some of the big men now into foul trouble as Heldring must come in as Rusthoven picks up his 4th personal foul with 7:18 to go.
And Rashawn has done that all season. He's an undersized post guy, and instead of that being a negative, he's used it to his advantage. He's an angles guy, gives you a lot of head fakes, and has gotten a lot of post guys this season in foul trouble trying to defend him.
Missed all of last year with shoulder surgery. And they throw it right into the hands. Davis picking that off, and then Matt Rum read that play and turns the favor on A.J. Davis.
A.J. Davis says, I try to pass and I turn it over. Next time, I'm going to just keep it.
Boy, he made a beautiful read, knew what Thornton was going to do, and then Matt Rum said, well, I'll figure out what you're going to do, A.J. And Goins got the hands in to break that up off of Thornton. Devon Moore is fouled from behind by Brandon Britt before the shot.
Whoa, JMU, they got away with one. That last possession, Marcus Thornton definitely got fouled on that jump shot.
Well, they are going to get him on the shot then.
Take a look at it right there. Rashawn Goins got him on the wrist. He didn't get any of the ball, and they go down the other way. And sometimes you don't get every call. You just got to play through it.
So he'll get to the line, even though it wasn't a shooting foul. It's the 10th team foul on William and Mary. A rare miss from the closer, Devon Moore. Keeps it a 1-point game.
The closer, I like that, Adam. I like that for Devon.
Well,
quite accurate.
He scores twice as many points as any of his teammates in the final 5 minutes of games. He knows what to do with the basketball as he drops that one home for his. He's now 7 of 16 from the free throw line, and that run continues for JMU as Davis with another reach in almost got yet another steal.
This time of game, Al, scouting report is key. Which guys are your primary scorers? Which guys are your best passers? Which guys defensively can you help off of?
2 to shoot. Thornton in the air and finally gets it to drop. That is a circus shot supreme from Marcus Thornton.
Absolutely nothing you can do with that. I mean, that was perfect defense. He jumped in the air and he just released it right before he touched the court.
And he can sky, so it'd take a little while for him to get down as well. Moore, no, but a putback, yes. It's now 20 points for Devon Moore. And Bill Covington Jr. is going to flag Heldring. So Fred Heldring picks up the personal foul. And we've got 3 on Tony Shaver's other big man, Fred Heldring. Rusthoven sits on the bench with 4. Heldring now has picked up his 3rd. So some decisions to make on the William and Mary side. We see Tony Shaver talking to his assistants as they discuss some strategy. And there is a timeout on the floor.
The officials are going over, taking a look at something. I don't know if they thought there was contact above the shoulder. If it was, that's an automatic technical foul, and then they have to determine whether it was an intentional hit above the shoulder, and then it's going to be a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2.
So 2 of our officials, Sean Cassidy and Bill Covington Jr., taking a look as we give you another chance. Actually, this is the other end. This is where Devon Moore got that putback. Then at the other end is where the foul came.
Yeah, it was off the ball. Can't see it from that angle, but the officials, that's what they're taking a look at. What, 1, was the player hit above the shoulder? And then 2, was it an intentional hit above the shoulder? Take a look off the ball at the bottom of your screen. You're going to see. No, that's not the right play.
Yeah, this is the play before that came with JMU playing offense. Now this is with JMU here playing defense.
Right
and
there.
There's the elbow by Heldring that's spotted by Bill Covington Jr. And there's the determinations you're talking about. Above the shoulder, what do we have? Common foul, apparently, by Sean Cody. So
okay, Bill Covington came over and just let us know it's a common foul. They didn't call, any intentional contact above the head. Just keep playing.
So we appreciate this officiating crew getting it right with so much on the line, as we have now 5:30 and less to play. Goins attacking on Heldring, too strong. Davis with a monster follow. A.J. Davis has been a sensation again. He's got 20. And Devon Moore says, I got it, settle it down. Rustoven with his 4 personals about to come back in.
William & Mary right now has 10 fouls. So now every foul that they make in the half court, JMU shooting 2 free throws. So right now they can be efficient. Just JMU, they should be strong with the ball and look to attack.
JMU with 7 team fouls. Moore working on Thornton, and the putback by Andre Nation. JMU has been attacking the offensive glass in this half, and that's why they've carved out a 6-point lead.
It's been a little reversal of roles. Early on, JMU, they were having 5 guys stare at the ball and not see the other defenders. Now, William & Mary, they're doing the same thing. The shot's going up. They're not turning and touching, and JMU's just having guys fly to the basket to get tip-ins.
But we have seen some high-wire offensive board work. Look at Goins on the miss, but here is Davis with authority.
Coming out of nowhere that time. You've got to put a body on him. You see he gets a full steam ahead run in, and he just comes up and just gets a strong, strong follow-through.
And here's Andre Nation, the freshman, with a more traditional putback, athletic as well.
The good thing for William & Mary, you have Brandon Britt, you have Marcus Thornton. You know, you can afford to go a little quick in the clock. You don't have to wait, makes 5 or 6 passes in your half-court offense. You have 2 guys that can go get you points. But right now, William & Mary may have to start thinking about, if they can't score, picking up full court and starting to press just a little bit, and that's not their normal way of wanting to play.
Great look at an important number of second chance points. It's really favored the Dukes as this game has worn on. They're on a 15-2 run right now. What will William & Mary do to counter it? It's in the hands of the man they want it to be in, Marcus Thornton, who finds Matt Rum. Back of the iron on his 3.
Good job by Moore. Didn't push it, got the rebounds, let's settle it down, let's work the clock.
Under 4 to play. Moore looking for a screen. Goins gave him a little bit of breathing room, but Thornton right back on him. Now on the pick and roll. He finds Goins, who scores.
Credit Matt Brady for going back to Rashawn Goins. He's been struggling, but he kept having him screen, rescreen, and that play was designed to get Rashawn Goins on the roll.
Matt Rum upset that there wasn't a call. There were some words exchanged, but no further action. Well, JMU making their move. 17-2 run. Tony Shaver has seen the Dukes lead get up to 8. Thanks to some great second half inside work from the big man, Rashawn Goins. As expected, quite the battle. Our game summary will show you Devon Moore of JMU, 20 points and 7 assists. Marcus Thornton keeping the tribe right there. He's had an 18-point night. The three-point shooting, Ron Thompson, has been a factor for both clubs this evening. That was a Brandon Britt 3. So A.J. Davis and company holding the lead by 8. And that is what Marcus Thornton can do for you.
I mean, the thing that makes him so tough to guard is that possession. Devon Moore played solid defense. He just pulled up for a deep shot. You know, he was contested and the ball just went in. Guys like Thornton, you have to not let him get his hands on the ball.
Goins trying to work against Rustoven with the 4 personals. He kicks it back out to Devon Moore. Moore wanted Goins to come out and set a screen for him. Now he'll get his cousin to do it.
I'd love to see them go back to Rashawn Goins on a pick and roll and get that big body near that basket because he's going to come up with a foul.
Davis a little off balance on that one. Chased down, Cook tries to save it, and into the hands of Rum. Oh, what a lucky break. Rustoven couldn't catch it, but who was right there? Kyle Gaylord to finish.
Sometimes you need a little bit of luck, Al. This possession, I really think JMU needs to go back on the inside. Run a little roll and replace, a little high ball screen, and look to get the ball to Rashawn Goins on the block because you have to foul him if he gets the ball close to the basket because he's too big and too wide.
Andre Nation trying to turn the corner, lost it, got it back, and finishes. This is what you're talking about, how this kid could be something special at JMU next year.
No question. He's going to grow by leaps and bounds his second season, and I think the officials just gave him
a technical foul. We're trying to figure out exactly why. Matt Brady has a look on his face. Andre Nation pleading his case to his assistants.
After he hit the shot, he screamed a little bit, and I think the officials thought that was taunting.
Hey, it's tournament time, right?
You got to let a little bit of this go. Let's see. Let's take a look at it.
And I guess that means that he had 4 personals coming in, and that technical will be his 5th, so he's done.
Yep, he's giving him a foul for taunting, and you know, some of that I love to see officials just let go. I mean,
Wow.
you know, this is basketball. You know, you're not playing golf, you're not playing tennis. You got to let some of this stuff go. I understand you want to keep the game in control. You don't want the guys to fight, but we're nowhere near that.
Ron, I always kind of consider that if you get in somebody's face, I'll buy that as taunting.
Right.
If you just show a little emotion for making a hell of a play, I'm not so sure I buy that as a technical foul worthy.
Exactly.
But you see Matt Brady putting his head there and patting him on the back. How about a word from you, Brent Harris? How'd you see this?
Al, it goes back a couple of plays. Those players were warned, and right after that play, Nation turned after scoring and went back toward Rum, and that's what the referee saw, was right in front of the referee. He had to make the call because he had already warned the players that that kind of stuff wasn't going to go on. And so it just happened a few plays later, and they were looking for it, guys.
All right, great, Brent. Thank you so much. That's why we're so happy to have Brent Harris giving us an extra pair of eyes on the baseline in the huddles. And so we get a little more insight into why that was so quickly flagged on Andre Nation, who is done for the game, as we have 2 minutes left to go, and William and Mary has made their move to get it to 3. Britt on the attack. No. Curry got good position, and fellow freshman Cook gathers it up.
I really think this small lineup, with the exception of Rashawn Goins, has really gone in the favor of JMU defensively. William and Mary's offense, they spread you around. There's a lot of body movements. There are a lot of cutting, and they can switch all of those cuts, which has done a